Hello and welcome to the channel Chemical Engineer. I am Sahil Yadav and we are doing our course that is Fluid Mechanics for GATE 2022 quick revision with all the formulas. So if you are new to the channel, please subscribe and please don't forget to press the bell button because that is how you will get about latest information or new updates. So please stay connected. Okay, so let us start our video on fluid mechanics for GATE 2022 quick revision for all the formulas. So fluid mechanics is divided into the different branches. So generally in general we have fluid static and fluid dynamics, and in addition to fluid static and dynamics we have flow meters and pumps. Okay, so but in this course we will try to learn it in different 5 parts. Okay, so for formula related questions, fluid statics, then next part is flow through pipes, third is flow meter and pump, fourth is thicknesses, so different type of thickness like displacement thickness, momentum energy thickness, all those thickness we will remember all the formulas. And we have additional, that is friction and velocity, so we have relation between friction factor and velocity as well as head loss and so on. Similarly we have extra topic which we forgot to cover in mechanical unit operation, that is mixing and agitation, so that also we will cover here. So the video lecture will be of 2 parts, part 1 and part 2. So in part 1 we will try to cover the first 3 topics, that is the flow through pipe, fluid statics, and the third will be friction and velocity. In the next part 2 video we will try to cover flow meter and pumps and thicknesses in fluid mechanics. Okay, so this is a important information for all of you, that even if I provide you this PPT, please try to write everything whatever I am discussing in this video. Okay, so write everything. Alright, so let us start the video now. Okay, so I will provide you this PPT only, so I will try to make it clear and easy for you to understand. So the first topic that we are going to study is fluid statics. Okay, so in fluid statics the first formula which every one of you should remember is of density. Okay, so the first formula is of density. So for liquid, density is denoted or given as rho equal to m by v. So this is the first formula. Similarly for gases we have a density equal to m by v only, but here we have to remember one more formula, that is rho equal to pm by rt. So this is for ideal gas. Okay, so this is for ideal gas, so try to remember and note it down, this formula. Now second equation in fluid statics is of a hydrostatic equilibrium. Hydrostatic equilibrium, you can try to note it down side by side because I am going very slow. So hydrostatic equilibrium. So hydrostatic equilibrium, so what is this? So suppose the fluid is steady and we throw some mass or solid object in the fluid. So at certain distance from the top or from the bottom, the fluid comes to a stationary position. So the example of this is a Ram Setu bridge. So that is the principle behind the Ram Setu bridge, is hydrostatic equilibrium. So the main equation to remember for this hydrostatic equilibrium is, directly we are not going to derive it, but you have to remember it, that P by rho plus Z is equal to constant. Okay, so please note down this equation. P by rho in plus z equal to constant. Okay, so this hydrostatic equilibrium equation is, this one is for liquid case. Similar thing happens in the gaseous phase as well. So for gaseous phase, so for gas phase, or we can say for ideal gas case, okay, ideal gas phase, what we have, that is dP divided by P plus, in place of that z or rho, by rearranging the previous equation, we get dz equal to 0, that is we are generally dividing it. So from this equation we get a different equation, that is ln Pb divided by Pa. Okay, so this is A, Pb by Pa is equal to minus m by RT into Zb minus Za. Okay, so this is a equation that is derived from the upper equation. So at different points the pressure varies in the gases by this equation. Okay, so this equation is only valid for ideal gas. So ln Pb by Pa, so B and A and B are the two different points at distance Zb and Za from the top of the liquid surface or the gaseous surface. Okay, so this is all about hydrostatic equation. All right, now let us move further. Okay, so third equation that we are okay, so that equation that we have derived like in the previous slide is also known as barometric equation. Okay, so barometric equation. So barometric equation is nothing but Pa by Pb. So this is how actually we calculate the barometer, or we can say the pressure of the atmosphere. Okay, so we have some liquid at, or we have some fluid at point A and point B, and with respect to environment we try to calculate it like this. Okay, so this equation is known as barometric pressure equation. And remember this, that all of these terms should have SI unit. Okay, so then only we are going to get this pressure in terms of bar. Okay, so put everything in terms of SI unit, like this is in kg, this is meter. Universal gas constant should be in also the SI unit from unit balance. Temperature should be in Kelvin. So then and only then we will get the answer in bar. Okay, now fourth equation is variation with depth. Okay, so you all should remember that, or we can say variation with depth, and or we can say this equation is also known as different. Okay, so let me write it down. So for this we have to remember P of absolute equal to P of ATM, that is atmospheric pressure, plus P of gauge pressure. Okay, so gauge pressure is a pressure which is calculated by any pressure measuring equipment. Okay, so P gauge is generally given as rho g into h. Okay, so h is the height from the top. Okay, so let me write it, from upper surface. Okay, so P absolute, so absolute pressure is a pressure which is actually acting on the body in the fluid, which is given as P atmospheric, that is atmospheric pressure, plus P of gauge pressure. Okay. Now the third equation is a pressure balance equation, or we can say the pressure law, or we have some name but I am not able to recognize or revise that name, so let me write it as a pressure law. So what actually it says, that pressure at same height is same. So from this we get F1 by A1 equal to F2 by A2. Okay, so this is generally a equation which we apply for something called elevation with area. So this is A1, this is A2, pressure of this piston, suppose this is a piston, so the force here is F1 and the force here is F2. Alright, so remember it. Okay, now manometer. Let us, in fluid static we study manometer. Okay, so manometer. So I will just give you a brief how to calculate a pressure at any point. So manometer is nothing but a pressure measuring device. So suppose this is a point 1, this is a point 4. Suppose there is some fluid at different height. Okay, so here we have fluid A and here we have fluid B. Okay, so these are two different fluids, and suppose the height here is Rm. Okay, so distance between both that fluid is Rm and this height is capital or small h. Okay, so okay, let me write this as 0.2, this as 0.3. So we will start from point 1. So P1, as we move down the pressure increases. So for B fluid the length of this is H plus Rm. So P1 plus rho of B into G into Rm plus H. Okay, so up to this the height is as the length of or depth is increased, pressure is increased, that is positive sign. Then for A fluid from 2 to 0.3 the height is increased, so the pressure is decreased. So how much length is there? So the difference between this 0.2 and 0.3 is Rm. So pressure is decreased, so we will do rho A G into Rm. Similarly for B fluid from 0.3 to 0.4 we have a decrease in height from the top. So we took a reference of this point 1 and 4. So this height will be taken as minus h into rho b into g. Okay, and this will equal to P4. So please note down this equation because this is a basic example of how manometer or how to calculate height in manometer. Okay, now let us go further. Now if we have, okay, so fifth is inclined manometer. So taking the example of the previous case only, if we simplify the previous equation, that is P1 minus P4 equal to, we get rho A minus rho B rho b into Rm into G. Okay, so this is a simplified equation for the previous case. Now suppose if our manometer, which is actually calculating the pressure, is inclined. Okay, so this manometer is inclined at certain angle called alpha. Okay, so this is a manometer which is inclined. So this is a previous manometer only. So if manometer is inclined, then what you have to do, you have to first find delta P, that is P1 minus P4. Now after calculating delta P, the equation which we get is rho A minus rho B into Rm into G. So multiply sine alpha, or the sine of whatever angle which is M. So second is multiply with sine alpha. Okay, so the equation which we get for inclined manometer is P1 minus P4 equal to rho A minus rho B into Rm into G into sine of alpha. Okay, so this is the equation which we get for inclined manometer. Okay, so let us see the sixth equation from. Okay, so sixth equation that we will now see is of the shear stress. So in fluid statics, sixth equation is about, so this equation is related to the behavior of the flowing fluid. So from that we have a equation of Newton's law of viscosity. Okay, so Newton's law of viscosity is generally showing the relation between shear stress, velocity and viscosity, or we can say shear stress and velocity. So this question is already asked by GATE many a time, that what Newton law of viscosity shows. So it shows the relation between the velocity and shear stress. Okay, so in y direction, suppose there is a change in velocity, then this shear stress is directly proportional to the velocity gradient. Okay, so that is known as Newton's law of viscosity. So Newton's law of viscosity is followed by the Newtonian fluid, and non-Newtonian fluid do not follow the Newton's law of viscosity. So those fluids are pseudoplastic, Bingham plastic, dilatant fluid, thixotropic and rheopactic fluid. So all those topics will be covered by me in the full video lecture. So as far as equation is concerned, this equation you have to remember. Okay, now seventh equation that you have to remember is of the, okay, so Bingham plastic. In that also we have different equation that we will discuss in a full lecture video. Okay, next equation that you have to remember is the surface tension equation. Okay, so in surface tension we have two cases. First is a liquid drop, second is the bubble which is hollow. Okay, so in bubble what we have is air inside the bubble, but in liquid droplet we have liquid throughout. So for this we have a pressure equation as 4 into sigma by d. Okay, and this sigma is generally known as surface tension. Okay, so this equation you have to remember. Similarly for bubble, as it is hollow, there is a inside, or the force is from inside as well, so it will be 2 times as that of the liquid droplet. So 8 sigma by d. So this is a pressure equation for the bubble and liquid droplet. So this pressure is generally a pressure inside droplet. Inside droplet. Okay, so you have to remember these two equation as well. Okay, now 8th is the capillarity. So capillarity effect, you all know that the rising of fluid without any force, rise or fall of a fluid in a small diameter tube is known as capillarity effect. Okay, so if theta is greater than 0 for capillarity, we have no wetting, so the surface will not get wet. If theta is less than 90 degree, a wetting fluid will be there. Okay, so for this, the height of capillarity is calculated as h equal to 4 sigma cos theta divided by rho g into d. Okay, so the height which is attained or fall is calculated generally by this equation, that is 4 sigma cos theta divided by rho g d. Okay, so theta. Okay, so theta, how will you calculate theta? So theta is actually the angle that is made by the liquid connected. Okay, so suppose this is the angle. Okay, this is actually a small tube and this angle, so this angle is known as theta. Okay, now if in a tube we have a fluid which is making more than 90 degree, so this will be your theta. Okay, so remember this. Now after capillarity, we have a equation known as buoyancy force. So I think you should all know that what is buoyancy force. So it is the buoyancy. So buoyancy is nothing but a force that is acting upward to keep the body flowing into G, where V is the volume of fluid displaced. Okay, and here rho F is the fluid density in which the body is immersed. Okay, so this is all about fluid statics. Okay, so after fluid statics we have okay, so one more equation is there. 9th equation is known as equation of continuity. Okay, so this 9th equation is known as equation of continuity, which is nothing but a conservation of mass. So we get this equation of continuity from conservation of mass, which is rho 1 a1 into v1 equal to rho 2 a2 v2 equal to constant. Okay, so this equation is known as continuity equation. So generally flow rate, which is q1 equal to q2, is applied. So rho 1 into a1 into v1, so a1 into v1 is nothing but your flow rate. Okay, so meter cube per second is the flow rate. So this is all about important equations related to fluid statics. Now let us see a different equation about correction factors. Correction factor. So in fluid mechanics, we have two different correction factors. First is momentum correction factor, which is given by beta. So this beta is generally defined as 1 by s into integration s u by v bar into whole square into ds. Okay, so u is the velocity, v bar is the average velocity, u is the velocity, and s is the cross sectional area. So this is how we can calculate momentum correction factor, which shows the relation between the so beta generally shows the momentum per second based on actual velocity divided by momentum per second based on average velocity. So if suppose GATE asks you that what is momentum correction factor, so you should know this equation as well. Okay, so this is all about momentum correction factor. So how we apply momentum correction factor? So we have P equal to mv, mass into velocity, but when we apply momentum correction factor, we have P equal to beta into m into v. So this is the correct form, while this is the wrong equation when there is something change in density is observed. Okay, so the second correction factor is one minute. So the second correction factor is the kinetic energy correction factor. So let me tell you what all those correction factors are. So these correction factors are generally showing the relation between the actual and average conditions. Okay, so this is given as alpha equal to 1 by s integration of area u by v bar whole cube into ds. Okay, so this is actually the relation between the correction factor. Okay, so it shows the same thing for actual divided by average kinetic energy. Okay, so actual by average kinetic energy. Okay, so these two correction factors you have to remember. So I don't recommend you to remember this equation directly, but you should understand how we get this equation. That we are not going to discuss it in this video. So moreover, you have to remember some values like laminar flow. We have alpha equal to 2, beta equal to 1.33. For turbulent flow, we have alpha equal to 1.05. So if GATE asks you to calculate this equation, don't calculate directly. Remember this equation, that if the flow is turbulent, the equation for the relation or the value of alpha is 2 for laminar and turbulent 1.05, and beta is 1.33 for laminar case. Okay, so this correction factor is generally directly applied to the Bernoulli's equation, that is P by rho g plus alpha into v square by 2g plus z equal to constant. Okay, so this alpha is directly added in the Bernoulli's equation in any numerical equation if they ask you. Okay, so directly multiply v square by 2g term with alpha. Okay, now let us move. Okay, so up to which number? 10 number. Okay, So 11th equation that you have to remember is Bernoulli's equation. I will share this PPT, that is handwritten PPT, on Telegram group as well as on WhatsApp group. So the link for WhatsApp and Telegram group is in the description, so you can directly message me there, or this PPT will be sent to you by tomorrow. Okay, so by tomorrow I will send this PPT on that group. Okay, so P by rho g plus V square by 2g plus Z equal to constant. If we take Z1, V1, P1 and for two different points, then what we will do, here also we will wait a minute, so P2 by rho g plus V2 square by 2g plus Z2 plus we here add HF. So HF is nothing but a dynamic head. Okay, so this is generally a dynamic head. Okay, so this is Bernoulli equation which you should remember, and as well as you should remember what are the different assumptions for Bernoulli's equation. Okay, so this is equation 11. So the video will be more than 30 minutes, so don't worry, I will try to cover less content and direct content in part 2. Okay, so next is the 12th equation, which is grade line equation. Grade line. So in general we have two types of grade line, that is HGL, that is hydraulic grade line, and EGL, that is energy grade line. So in hydraulic grade line we have static pressure plus elevation head. Okay, so these two terms are included in a hydraulic grade line. So these two lines are generally not for chemical use, but for mechanical person this information should be clear for pump and other application. So this is a energy grade line which is a total head equal to total head. So total head is nothing but which is equal to P by rho g plus V square by 2g plus Z. But in the HGL we will not include this V square by 2g term. Okay, so that is what about. And when we subtract EGL minus HGL, we will get V square by 2g, but that is also known as dynamic head. Okay, so please remember this equation as well. Alright, now let us move to the equation number 13. So equation 13 is for the friction factor. Without wasting time, I would like to directly move to the equation. What is that, what, how and when, that all things we are not going to discuss. So F equal to wall shear stress divided by density into velocity head. Okay, so this is the friction factor. So it is given as tau divided by rho into V square by 2. Okay, so if all things are in V square by 2. Okay, so this is the friction factor, wall shear stress into divided by density into velocity head. Now we have two types of friction factor in fluid mechanics. Okay, so first is the Fanning's friction factor and second is the Darcy's friction factor. Okay, so Fanning's friction factor is nothing but given as F equal to 16 by Reynolds number when it is laminar flow, which is almost equal to delta P G D divided by 2 rho L V square. Okay, so how we get is not a concern this time. We will try to learn it any other time. Okay, similarly, Darcy's friction factor. So the relation between Darcy's friction factor and Fanning's friction factor is nothing but a 4 times. Okay, so Fanning's friction factor is F by, but Darcy's friction factor is F dash. Okay, we generally show it like that way. So Darcy's friction factor is nothing but 4 times of Fanning's friction factor. Wait a minute, if you will. Okay, so Darcy's friction factor is nothing but 4 times the Fanning's friction factor. So that is the relation between both of them. Alright. Now let us move to our second topic, that is a flow through pipeline. Flow through pipes. Okay, so in this we will first start with a hydraulic diameter. Hydraulic diameter. So what is hydraulic diameter? So in order to calculate that, we have a equation 4 into cross sectional area divided by perimeter, wetted perimeter. Okay, so for directly you should remember, for square pipe we have dh equal to a, that is the length of a one side. Similarly for rectangular duct we have dh equal to 2 times a into b divided by a plus b. Okay, so remember this hydraulic diameter relation or equation directly. Alright. Second relation is the hydrodynamic entrance region, or we can say, let me write it as okay, so length of entrance region. So length of entrance region is generally given as the length up to which the hydrodynamic term is dominant in Bernoulli's equation. So it is given as 1.359 Re raised to 0.5 into d, where d is the diameter of a pipe. This is pipe diameter. Okay, so this is for laminar case. Similarly, the length of entrance is equal to 10 into d. This is for turbulent case. Okay, so this is about the length of entrance region. Sorry. Third equation is the Hagen-Poiseuille equation. So in Hagen-Poiseuille equation you should start with, okay, so let me tell you, suppose this is some fluid flowing in a pipe. This is a cross sectional area and the radius is capital R, okay, of the pipe. So at center radius is 0 and from top to bottom we have R and R. So for laminar flow, okay, so this equation is only applicable for laminar conditions. So for laminar condition, velocity at any point R from the center, the velocity can be estimated as minus capital R square divided by 4 mu into dp by dx, that is the pressure gradient, into 1 minus R square by R square. Okay, so this is how we can calculate the velocity at any point R from the center. Okay, now if we want to calculate the maximum velocity, what we will do, we will keep dp by dx equal to minus 2 tau w divided by r. How we get this? So please use your mind. Then we have, from this we can get velocity maximum at r equal to 0, that is capital R equal to 0. So velocity maximum is value that is we get as tau w r divided by 2 mu. So velocity is maximum at r equal to 0. So the relation you have to remember is u by u max equal to 1 minus r by r whole square. Alright, and from this u max equal to 2 times u of average. Okay, so these four relation you have to remember directly. Now pressure drop. Okay, so here what third equation. Okay, so Hagen-Poiseuille equation, that is the pressure drop. Delta P equation is given as 8 mu V L divided by R square, which is almost or equal to 32 mu V L divided by D square. Okay, so this is a pressure drop across a pipe in a laminar flow. Okay, so this is Hagen-Poiseuille equation for laminar flow, where V is the average velocity. Okay, so you have to take V as a average velocity. Alright, so this is the pressure drop equation for laminar flow. Now the pressure loss equation or the pressure drop equation, which should be pressure loss equation, is for calculation of delta P. We have, in terms of friction factor, we have F into rho L V square divided by 2D. Okay, so you have to remember this equation where V is the average velocity only, and friction factor is 16 by Re, that we have discussed. If Darcy's friction factor is have to be used, then we have to multiply it with 4, so it will become 4F dash. Okay, so now as we got the pressure, we can calculate the head loss as well. So head loss is nothing but, okay, so head loss we can calculate as H of L, head loss equal to F L V square divided by 2GD. Simple equation. Okay, because delta P equal to rho GHL. Okay, so we will get this equation directly. Okay, now Poiseuille equation is the fourth equation we have to remember. So Hagen-Poiseuille is the combined equation, but Poiseuille equation is something what we have to remember for gate. Poiseuille's equation. So Poiseuille's equation is nothing but delta P equal to 128 mu LQ. It is nothing but the some changes in the previous equation, that is keeping the value of Reynolds number and so on. So we get this equation, Poiseuille equation. This equation is known as Poiseuille's equation. This equation is for horizontal pipe. Okay, so this is for horizontal pipe. Similarly, for inclined pipe, what we have to do is delta P minus rho GL sin theta equal to 128 mu LQ divided by pi d raised to 4. This equation is for inclined pipe with theta degree. Okay, so this is for inclined pipe. Alright, so this is equation for laminar flows. Okay, similarly for turbulent flow, we don't have such relation, but we have Moody chart as well as von Karman equation. So GATE don't ask any question, so I am not going to cover those equation in this video. I think this video is going much longer, so I end this video up to here. In next video what we will cover is okay, so in next video we will cover the remaining topics. All right, so please subscribe to the channel and please share this video so that everyone, if you find this knowledgeable or if you are getting some knowledge from this video, please share this. Okay, so in next video we will cover different or the remaining topics. So which are they? So we have covered fluid statics and flow through pipes. Okay, in next video we will cover flow meters and pump, thickness and friction and velocity, and mixing and agitation. So that video will be of less time, lesser than 30 minutes. Okay, so thank you for watching, and please subscribe and also support us on Telegram, Instagram and other platforms. Thank you.